to see it.
It's pretty amazing, and it kind of gives you a whole new understanding of who he is as a martial arts person, and as a family man, and as a professional.
I think it's pretty amazing that China has wanted to embrace my father in this way. I think they look at my father as somebody who influenced the world. He sort of bridged the gap, as you will, between East and West, and he did it 35 years ago. And now here's China coming out to the world, essentially having a coming out party to the world, and so I think they see him as a metaphor in a way for themselves, and they really are embracing that.
It's taken China more than 35 years to embrace its most famous son. The Mammoth series has become the most watched TV drama in the channel's history. And incredibly, the techniques used in the filming and fight scenes were those pioneered by Bruce Lee more than 35 years ago, when he changed the way action films would be made forever. Hong Kong has for many years been the action movie capital of the world. Bruce Lee returned here in 1970 to make his 4 kung fu films and revolutionize the way fight scenes in movies were filmed.
You want to fight? I'll take you on.
Stunt coordinator Thomas Sin is a kung fu master who took up martial arts after seeing Bruce Lee.
The thinking, fighting, and pictures in his movies are still innovative today. He just advanced dozens of years ahead of us.
Today he's practicing wire work, where a stunt double is attached to wires to mimic the appearance of flying. It's a technique that's been used in Hong Kong filmmaking for almost 50 years and is best known from films like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Despite having free rein to use special effects, it was something Bruce Lee avoided. For Lee, realism was everything. The portrayal of his martial arts had to be as close to real life as possible.
Well, if you look at the guys who came before him, especially in Hong Kong cinema, these movies contain very little authentic martial arts at all. It's mostly a lot of trampolines and wire stunts. Look at the Chinese boxer. The fight scenes are terrible. It's a lot of swinging your arms and people falling over, and then some very obvious and awkward wire work, which people shoot straight up into the air or do flips off trampolines.
Donnie Yen is one of the biggest names in Hong Kong cinema. He's appeared in more than 30 action movies in both Hong Kong and Hollywood, including Shanghai Nights with Jackie Chan and Hero.
Bruce Lee believed in having authentic martial arts, being an authentic martial artist, to be a martial art actor. He was the very first to came out and say, look, you have to be real. When you kick, when you punch, you have to be real.
Bruce Lee was renowned for doing his own stunts, but would fight against stuntmen in his films. Jackie Chan began his film career as a stuntman in Fist of Fury and Enter the Dragon. He found that Lee's quest for realism came with a price.
It's one stick right on my head. One, I just I do the reaction, drop, do nothing, bam, fall down. But he just bang, do whatever he like to do. Finished, run away, then cut.
Bruce Lee was uncompromising in his attempts to get realistic fight scenes, but he was sympathetic towards his stuntmen.
I just hear, oh my God, and probably some dirty word, some like a shoe, drop the stick, run to me and pull me up. I'm terrible sorry. I said, I'm okay. I'm okay. No, on a stunt guy, never say hurt. I'm okay. No. And he touched me and kissed my face. No, just do whatever, but I ready to get hurt.
Lee's use of real martial arts, combined with his speed and director's eye, was groundbreaking.
Bruce Lee totally revolutionized the way unarmed combat would be presented on screen. What Bruce Lee had done, because he worked in Hollywood with so many quality filmmakers, came back, he learned which lens to use, how to move the camera, where to edit. And these are what make his fights so remarkable. The techniques sometimes are really quite basic. The way he shot them was revolutionary.
Yeah, his action is a kind of a new wave action. You know, he changed the whole thing. You know, because we have never seen fighting like that.
The whole sort of like fast and slow thing he did with the tension and the release. The scenes that would move, then stop, then move again. Bruce Lee really made that stylized and really built that up and turned that into something that, I think that's the influence for Western movies.
He made fighting entertaining. He made it fun. He made it dramatic. He made it emotional. And he really brought martial arts to the rest of the world.
But Bruce Lee disappeared almost as quickly as he'd emerged. On July 20th, 1973, dying of a brain edema just weeks before Enter the Dragon was released. The cause was put down to an allergic reaction to a painkiller. His death sent shockwaves around the world, prompting the biggest public gathering in Hong Kong's history. He was laid to rest in Seattle, with former students Steve McQueen and James Coburn as pallbearers.
I had decided to send Bruce's body back to Seattle. It was not a popular opinion in Hong Kong because they thought of Bruce as their son in Hong Kong, but that's what I decided.
Bruce Lee's sudden death left a vacuum as the world clamored to see more of this new Asian superstar. A rash of Bruce Lee lookalikes and copycat films emerged, inspiring a whole new film genre, known as Bruceploitation.
The whole Bruceploitation genre really took off after his death in the 70s, as film producers in Hong Kong were desperate to find, someone else to make some money off of.
And right after he died, it was Bruce Lie, Bruce this one, Bruce Jump Over the Fruit, Bruce Jackson from Compton. It's all these Bruces. There's only one.
There's got to be over 50 to 100 titles of movies with Bruce Lee name in it that has no Bruce Lee in it. There have to be at least a dozen or more Asian actors that was called Bruce Lee by the advertisers, and they didn't even know about it because those movies are made in Hong Kong and just sent out to the world.
Bruce Lee had been working on his 5th film when he died, called Game of Death. He'd filmed what would amount to 11 minutes and 7 seconds of edited footage as he fought 3 styles of martial artists on his way up a pagoda.
What Bruce was trying to convey in the Game of Death was how to deal with different forms. One martial artist going against people using different fighting styles has to overcome each of them. So in order to do that, you have to be versatile. You can't just take the same approach to dealing with different problems.
But the footage presented the studio with a major problem: how to finish the film without Bruce Lee.
Years go by, Bruce has passed away, and then the Hong Kong film studio, Golden Harvest, wanted to do something with the film that existed from Game of Death. And I believe they made 2 films and spliced together another actor and parts Bruce and part this other actor, and it looks spliced together.
It looks like a joke, it looks like a gag, because the attempts to make it look like Bruce are in the early part of the movie are so laughable. There's a scene in which the face of a body double is obscured by sticking a photo of Bruce on a mirror.
Among the many Bruce Lee imitators that appeared after his death, a few actors emerged who began to establish themselves as unique talents in their own right. 2 of the most successful were former stuntmen and members of the Peking Opera School, Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan.
Really, the guy who was smart about it was Jackie Chan. When he finally got to have some sort of say in the direction of his career, stopped trying to imitate Bruce, and, in the spirit of Bruce, found his own path by doing kung fu comedies.
After Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan is the biggest name in kung fu and action films. Nowadays to be found in Beijing more than Hollywood, he long had to struggle against being hailed as the next Bruce Lee.
Nobody can be a Bruce Lee. There's only one Bruce Lee. But all the director, martial art director, want every actor becoming a second Bruce Lee. The way you point, the way you fight, nobody can do it for him. But the audience, no, he's the best. Bruce Lee is the best.
Jackie has appeared in over 100 films, but is best known in the West for his appearances alongside Chris Tucker in the Rush Hour trilogy, playing a very different role to Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee is very strong. He's a very, like an iron guy. Nobody can beat him. I want to be underdog. Everybody can beat me. And when Bruce Lee punch like this, me after punch, hurt. I want to be a real human.
As well as opening the doors for action stars like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee has also been the inspiration for many others.
I did a movie called Mindhunters, and I had a scene where I had to walk with a gun down this, like a dark military facility, and I really thought about Bruce Lee and really thought about the way he approached things when I was going through that scene, and just my movements. That and when it played back on tape, it looked so fluid because I really thought about the way he approached things. So he definitely is very influential.
Like LL Cool J, Eddie Griffin says Bruce Lee inspired him professionally and made him want to take up martial arts.
Oh, I did this movie called Undercover Brother. And, it's about this brother who, rather than use a gun, Undercover Brother solves it with his hands. He's a Bruce Lee fanatic. For the time I could remember Bruce Lee. It's the reason I got into the art.
As well as a multitude of Bruce Lee-inspired actors that emerged after his death, many filmmakers sought to pay homage to him by referencing him in their movies. Brett Ratner is one such director, duplicating the fight scene from The Game of Death, as well as the opening shot from Enter the Dragon.
I found that exact location that they shot at. I had someone take me there that worked on the movie, and that's where I shot the opening shot of Rush Hour. In Rush Hour 3, I did kind of the reverse. You had a Chinese guy, Bruce Lee, obviously fighting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We reversed it. I had a black guy fighting a Chinese giant. I said to my producer, find me the largest Chinese man you can. And he happened to be the second largest man in the world, which is Sun Ming, who's 7'9". So those Bruce Lee movies have tremendous influence on the choices I make.
Bruce Lee has been endlessly referenced in Hong Kong movies, Chinese movies, Japanese movies even, Canadian movies, but he's also been endlessly referenced in Hollywood movies. You've got him in the yellow tracksuit from Game of Death. You've got him right there in Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino's film with Uma Thurman. In Rush Hour, you have uses of his yells and his cries that are in there. Anytime someone gives a yell in a Western movie, it's a Bruce Lee thing.
Running for your lives!
Filmmakers and actors across the globe cite Bruce Lee as their guiding influence to want to make movies. And despite only making 4 action films, his influence is being felt to this day.
His profound legacy is that he created, on a worldwide stage, Asian action cinema. And in the wake of that, you've had the success of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and The Matrix, and the Jackie Chan movies, and the Jet Li movies, and all that you've had. And you would not have had that without Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee changed the worlds of film, philosophy, martial arts, and physical fitness. But he also had a profound effect on the creative arts, influencing music and musicians around the world.
So what we're doing right now, we're in the studio with the RZA, got my crew in here, and we're working on a project called Afro Samurai, starring Sam Jackson and Lucy Liu. It's called You Already Know. Check it out.